The slap is a painful gift, a cruel love letter from the universe. I want to slap you not to hurt, but to break the spell of forgetting. The slap inside me is the echo of every unspoken goodbye. I want to slap the lies you whispered, hoping they'd become truth. Love's slap is the fire that burns away what no longer serves us. I want to slap you awake before the silence swallows us whole. The slap is the breaking point where love either dies or is reborn. I want to slap you to remind you of the love you once held dear. The slap inside my heart is a storm, fierce and unforgiving. I want to slap away the shadows that clouded our forever. The slap is the universe's brutal kindness, forcing us to choose our truth. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. I want to slap you because silence between us feels like a deadly wound. The slap is a whisper of truth in a world full of lies. I want to slap you awake from the dream where love forgot to fight. The slap inside me is the last echo of hope fading into despair. I want to slap the fear that keeps us chained in this endless war. Love's slap is the cruel teacher that opens the eyes we refuse to use. I want to slap you, not to break you, but to shatter the walls between us. The slap is the pain of loving someone who no longer loves themselves. I want to slap the past and rewrite our story with honesty and light. Love's slap is the truth screaming through the silence of broken promises. I want to slap you awake to the reality we both refused to face. The slap inside me is the final burst of a love that won't surrender. I want to slap away the ghosts that haunt the space between our hearts. The slap is the universe's warning, a call to choose love or loneliness. I want to slap you to remind you of the fire we once held sacred. Love's slap is the silent scream beneath every shattered vow. I want to slap you awake before regret buries us in its cold embrace. The slap inside my soul is the painful grace of letting go. I want to slap the wounds that never healed, so love can bloom again. The slap is the last pulse of a love fighting to be heard and remembered. I want to slap you awake, but my hands only tremble with lost love and regret. The slap is my heart breaking in slow motion, aching for what we never were. I want to slap you to free my soul from the chains of your silence. Love's slap is the last goodbye before the soul learns to love itself again. I want to slap the part of you that turned kindness into cruel indifference. The slap inside me is the echo of all the promises you never kept. I want to slap away your pride so tenderness can finally enter the room. Sometimes the hardest slap is loving someone who refuses to love themselves back. I want to slap you because my love was never meant to be this silent. The slap is the universe reminding us love without truth is just a shadow. I want to slap away the walls you built to hide from your own heart. The slap inside me is the storm before calm, before healing begins its quiet work. I want to slap you awake from the dream where we're strangers in love's place. Love's slap is the fierce light that burns through all our darkest illusions. I want to slap the silence that screams louder than any words ever could. The slap is a wound and a blessing, breaking us so we can become whole. I want to slap you because the pain of loving you is both poison and cure. The slap inside my soul is a prayer for courage to finally walk away. I want to slap away the shadows you cast on the love we once shared. Love's slap is the fire that forges truth from the ashes of betrayal. I want to slap you awake because silence is the death of everything sacred. The slap inside me is the last breath of a love drowning in regret. I want to slap the fear that stole your heart and left mine bleeding. Sometimes, love's slap is the only way to shatter frozen hearts and mend. I want to slap you, but my tears say what my hands never could. The slap is the soul's rebellion against pain, craving freedom through truth. I want to slap away the lies you whispered, so truth can rise like dawn. The slap inside me is the storm that cleanses, even as it destroys. I want to slap you awake from the silence that suffocates our broken love. Love's slap is the fierce mercy that breaks us to make us whole again. I want to slap you because my heart still hopes for a love reborn. The slap is the echo of every unspoken word between two shattered souls. I want to slap the ghost of us before it haunts my every breath. Love's slap is the painful grace that teaches us to forgive and let go. I want to slap you awake, but my silence holds the power of 1,000 storms. The slap inside me is a wake-up call. Love demands courage, even in silence. I want to slap away your pride and bring back the tenderness we lost. My dear, sometimes love's fury tastes like a slap we never expected, but needed to wake us alive. Your silence stings deeper than any slap ever could, an echo of everything you won't say. I want to slap you, not to hurt, but to shake the truth from your blinded heart. The fire inside me screams to slap away the lies you wrapped in kisses. If only you felt the weight of my hands. you'd understand the damage your love leaves. I'm on the edge, between loving you and slapping the mask off your false smile. That urge to slap is a prayer in disguise, a desperate call for honesty to break free. Sometimes, anger is love's final scream before it learns to heal in silence. I want to slap you not in anger, but to awaken the soul I once knew. The hardest slap is the one that hits your pride, shattering illusions of forever. I want to slap the distance between us, to bring you crashing back to truth. You broke me so deeply, the slap inside my heart never fades, only grows louder. This rage is love's unfinished poem, written in bruises and silent apologies. Your betrayal is the slap that taught me how to walk away with grace. Sometimes, the hardest love is a slap disguised as mercy. I want to slap the part of you that's lost, hoping it'll find me again. The slap I want is not violence, it's the jolt that forces your eyes open. You don't see my slap coming because love taught me to fight without noise. I want to slap you so badly because I'm still begging you to feel my pain. Every slap I resist is love teaching me patience and silent strength. My heart wants to slap you, but my soul whispers, let go or break forever. I want to slap the truth into you, but you're deaf to everything but your ego. The slap is an embrace of anger and longing, tangled in a single breath. I want to slap your pride, so humility might bloom where bitterness grows. When love feels like a slap, it's the universe's way of waking us up. You don't deserve my slap, but you do deserve the truth that follows it. I want to slap you because I'm terrified of how much I still love you. The slap is the punctuation mark on our unfinished love letter. Your silence after the slap screams louder than any words ever could. I want to slap you awake from the dream where you never see my pain. The slap is the heartbreak's shadow, sharp, sudden, impossible to ignore. I want to slap the walls you built, hoping to find the fragile heart inside. Sometimes, love's slap is the only way to break free from its prison. I want to slap you out of your delusion, but I'm too broken to raise my hand. The slap I crave is the jolt that pulls your soul down from the edge. You think a slap would hurt? Try the silence after love dies. I want to slap away the mask, hiding your fear beneath the smile. Your betrayal is a slap that echoes in the chambers of my soul. I want to slap you, but instead I hold on to the fragments of what was. Love's slap is the raw wound that forces us to either bleed or heal. I want to slap you not out of hate, but from a place desperate for truth. The slap is the sound of love breaking, shattering illusions into painful clarity. I want to slap you because every heartbeat still calls your name in agony. The slap is the universe's way of teaching us the cost of betrayal. I want to slap away your lies, but I'm too weary to fight anymore. Sometimes, the hardest slap is the one we never give but feel deep inside. I want to slap the part of you that abandoned us without a second glance. Love taught me how to slap softly, where forgiveness begins in silence. The slap of your absence hurts more than any blow ever could. I want to slap you, not because I hate you, but because I loved you too much. The slap inside my chest is the last echo of a love that won't die. I want to slap away the pain, but it clings to my soul like a shadow. The slap is a love letter written in bruises and broken promises. I want to slap your heart awake, but it's wrapped in chains of regret. Sometimes, love's slap is the clearest message we'll ever receive. I want to slap you and scream, but silence became my only weapon. Your betrayal was the slap that taught me how to stand alone. I want to slap the memories that haunt my nights like ghosts. The slap is the wound that opens the door to healing's quiet light. I want to slap you, but I'm scared you'll never truly see me. Love's slap is the shadow of a soul breaking open, raw and trembling. I want to slap away the lies, but they've become part of our story. The slap I need to give is the one that frees me from your hold. I want to slap you for the silence that shattered everything we built. The slap of regret is a heavy chain wrapped around my heart. I want to slap you awake, but the hurt keeps my hands tied. Sometimes love's slap is the final lesson before the soul learns to fly. I want to slap the part of me that still hopes for your return.